All those individuals who got a gold medal, the government of the Republic of Kenya will give you 750,000 shillings. So those 10 individuals will carry 7.5 million. For each team that won a gold medal, the team will carry 100,000. So that is another 500,000 for the 5 teams. For those who won a silver medal, the individual medalists will carry 500,000 shillings. And the team that won silver will get 75,000 shillings. For those who won bronze medals, the individual bronze medalists will carry 300,000 shillings. And the team that won bronze will get 50,000. So in total, the government will give you 10,200,000. A hearty congratulations to you, our champions. I'm profoundly excited to host you today for this luncheon after your sterling performance in the just concluded Special Olympics World Games in Berlin, Germany last week. Scooping 15 gold medals, 4 silver medals, and 6 bronze medals is no mean feat for people who, many a time, have been treated as lesser members of our society. You did not break the ceiling. You proved that with sheer determination, there is no ceiling in the first place. President William Ruto and I are proud of you, very proud of you. And the Kenyan nation is proud of you. You've done us proud. Dear champions, besides bringing home gold and other medals, you have made a pronouncement by swimming against the current of low expectations on people living with disabilities in our society. The society has set unfortunate standards that those living with intellectual impairment are harshly judged and condemned as a socio-economic burden to the family and society. In some cases, such children are segregated and detained in squalor conditions to await their fate. They are perceived to be of meaningless contribution to the community. This is a perception that has been perpetuated from old days when such children were abandoned. Our champions, Kenya is one of the most progressive democracies in law and jurisprudence in Africa and the world. Our constitution defines and acknowledges people living with disabilities. The supreme law further directs inclusion in opportunities for full realization of their potential. Since 2010, we have made milestones in empowering people who are able differently in government opportunities in various sectors. We also acknowledge that there are various barriers perpetuating retrogressive perceptions about people who are able differently. For instance, Section 146 of the Penal Code uses demeaning, discriminative, and abusive language against people living with mental disabilities, such as referring to them as imbeciles and idiots. This is not only offending and repugnant to the Constitution of Kenya, but also to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and other regional and international human rights instruments, which recognize all human beings with full rights and dignity. Dear champions, such language cements patronizing attitudes and perceptions against these venerable yet very important members of our society. Cultivating such environment at social places denies them the opportunity to live fruitfully. We acknowledge members of the civil society, such as the Coalition of Violence Against Women, which has highlighted this concern through a court petition. This unsuitable language was imported from the Colonial Penal Code in 1963. In the miscellaneous amendment bill before Parliament, we'll work with the members of the National Assembly to ensure that such offending and repugnant sections of the law are aligned to today's reality. Dear champions, allow me to appreciate our coaches for their exemplary work of modeling you into the heroes and heroines you have turned out to be. We thank the patron of the Special Olympics, Pastor Dorcas, and other officials for their immense support. You have shown that away from the track events in which Kenya is king, we are also leading in the world of redefining Olympics for the people who are abled differently. We are propelling them to tear down towers of discrimination. As per our bottom-up economic transformation agenda, we'll continue facilitating structural reforms for people abled differently to exploit their full potential so that no one is left behind in the quest for equality and equity. Asanteni sana.
Your Excellency, we are very happy. We are very happy as a ministry that you have been able to organize this breakfast and lunch for our Special Olympics competitors, just in recognition of what they have been able to do for this country. I came into the ministry the other day, Your Excellency, and my learning curve was very steep. And then I realized the kind of your support, the kind of support your office has given to the sporting activity in this country, and more so Her Excellency, Second Lady. Because first and foremost, when I came into this space, I was asking myself, what is this Special Olympics? Why is it special? But then as I was walked through and I was given to understand the kind of assistance you've been able to give them, participating in person in their activities and giving them support, we need to be proud as Kenyans to have this kind of leadership that we have today, Your Excellency. I would also wish to mention the aspect of the team that has been put in place to be able to manage that aspect of the sporting activity. Because when you see the kind of happiness that that group has because of the support your office has been able to give it, and also the support from the office of His Excellency the President, we are proud as Kenyans to have been put in place a government that looks at the hustlers, irrespective of which challenge you have as an individual. The third thing I was informed, Your Excellency, and which I'm proud of to be part and parcel of your government, is the fact that they decided and said for the Special Olympics we are going to put together everyone who are able differently, so that some can leverage on the strengths of the others. And that is the spirit your government has put in place on the bottom up. Nobody is left behind. My CS would have been here to tell you this, but he kindly requested me, because he's out of the country, he kindly requested me, Your Excellency, to be able to recognize this effort your government, and you in particular, and your household has put in place to be able to help this group of people. As a ministry, yes, we have had challenges, but we have tried, because we are working out of a system, Your Excellency, that had not planned for this space that we are in at the moment. But we have walked into a government, like I said earlier, that recognizes everyone, irrespective of what you suffer from. And therefore then, when you look at the aspect of policy. Your Excellency, it is something that we have done a rapid, assessment, and we are putting in place in the next 2 months a policy that will be speaking to all aspects of the reward for the athletes and everyone that has a talent that is helping this nation. And therefore, like our Member of Parliament said, that is something that we are working on. And that is why in his speech, His Excellency, the Deputy President, will be able to tell us how then we can be able to reward these people based on the policy that we have developed, but we are yet to finalize. And then thirdly, as a ministry, through monetizing talent, we want to ensure, and that is the direction you've given us, Your Excellency, that everyone that has any aspect of talent in this country must be recognized. And as a policy framework that we've been able to put in place, first and foremost, we've put in place a mechanism of identifying that talent, be it sport, be it creative art, and any other field. And then two, within the same policy, we are looking at ways and means of ensuring that they are nurtured. And then the reward aspect of it. So with your direction, Your Excellency, our ministry is working very fast into that space to ensure that everybody who has participated in any talent is recognized and rewarded accordingly. And like I said, our minister has already taken care of the Special Olympics, and the announcement will be coming from your office, Your Excellency. As I conclude, what the ministry has done is to ensure that that aspect of inclusivity into this team of the Special Olympics is adhered to. And that is why we are paying the coaches going forward. As like you rightly heard, our problem was, how do we have so many coaches for a small team? But when they gave us that explanation that the coaches were necessary because they are different, the Special Olympics entails different people able differently. And hence the reason we needed to have many coaches into those teams. And the ministry has recognized this, and we are working out a methodology of ensuring that whenever they travel out of the country, or whenever they participate in sporting activities within this country, all those that are in that space are recognized and rewarded accordingly. And finally, Your Excellency, we recognize the fact that we are working within a very tight fiscal space. The ministry, as a policy direction, has decided to get into partnerships. And even for the team that is here today, the ministry is working to see whether we can partner them with people who can be able to be of assistance one way or another, either through kitting them or providing the funding gap that we have as a ministry that will then be able to help. And within the framework that you've come up with, Your Excellency, the taxing and everything, we are very much aware that our fund is going to grow. And therefore then, that lack of funding and everything else will be a thing of the past for two reasons. That now the tax bracket has improved. And number two, we are refocusing the fund for sports and the art, right? And as a policy in the ministry, and we will be bringing it to cabinet, we want to ensure that that is adhered to, so that we can be able to help these people seated here, Your Excellency. With those very few remarks,